So today I was at work and there was this lady there who who was disabled, or at least recovered from being disabled. And she said every single day when she was young, she would walk or run 5 miles and would bike 25 miles. And that's what she loved to do. That was her thing. Um, and then somehow it must have been an accident, or it must have been some imminent disease. But she became disabled, and I guess her legs no longer worked. She needed to go in a wheelchair, and she needed to go on crutches, and she could no longer do the one thing she loved most. And even though she cherished the privilege she had to walk and to run and to be fit and to move her body in the way that she used to, even though she would do it every day, she still felt as if she had taken for granted something that everybody has, or at least we think everybody has. She told us to never take for granted something that you are privileged to enjoy, because you never realize how much of a luxury it is until it's no longer there. And that's a basic message, but I guess what it got me thinking about is about death, right? Because if this lady was able to move her body and be fit and be athletic and work out and run and bike and do marathons and do all of these things with her body and still feel as if she took it for granted after it was taken away, when she said, even though it was taken away from me, I still feel as if I didn't appreciate this ability I had. If that's how she feels, then I kind of thought, like, at the end of my own life, regardless of, I guess, how many people I made happy, how many people I provided for, how many people, or like, I don't know if I said this already, the things I achieved, the accolades, the awards, the advancements, the positions, maybe whatever it might be. I have big aspirations in my life, but even if I move past those aspirations and think about growing my own family and getting married and having kids and raising them and giving back and creating something generational, even at the end of all that, when I lose it, because I ultimately will, regardless of what I do with my life, we will all end up losing that. Regardless of what we do with our lives, I feel like, depending on what I believe in when I'm in my final moments, about what happens after I die, once my life is over, I will ultimately still have taken my life, regardless of how fully I lived it, for granted. And that's what I think. Other people think oppositely. Some people die, fulfilled and happy, and that's their definition of fulfillment. And I don't oppose that. That's how these different, or like, everybody thinks something differently. But I guess I haven't been as spiritual, or I haven't been trying as spiritually. I haven't been as consistent in my own beliefs with, for example, I'm a Christian, or I try to read my Bible, I try to pray, like, that's what I believe in. I haven't really been consistent in that. And I have my reasons. They're not good enough, but I feel like even for people who don't believe in what I believe in, if you think about it the way that I'm explaining it, in the same way this lady never underappreciated the luxury of her body when she still could, even though she never underappreciated it. Once it was taken away, she still felt as if she took it for granted. So how must it feel when, even if we live a supposedly fulfilling life, how will we feel once it's taken away from us? If you believe in an afterlife, because I do. So, I don't know, it's just something to think about. I guess it was a reminder to me, and hopefully, if you're listening, thank you if you are. I just ramble a little bit, but I guess it was just a reminder to ultimately do the one thing that, for me, defines what true fulfillment is, and that's to be reconciled with something I believe is higher than myself. And I hope you can do the same thing. Peace.